Zach Wilson, in his career against the Pats, is it's putrid. He's 0-4, averaging less than 175 yards per game. He's thrown 2 touchdowns, 7 picks, and has a passer rating of 50. Bill Belichick, who usually lays it on thick for his opponents, went this far when talking about Wilson today.
Obviously, Wilson, really athletic quarterback. We've seen him before. So, very talented group. Great win for him against Buffalo.
All right, so he couldn't even bring himself to say
he's athletic.
Good things for Zach Wilson. So what's your respect level for Zach Wilson?
Below this desk. Mac Jones, I'm not the biggest fan, if you guys didn't know. I think he's a pretty mediocre to below average quarterback. Zach Wilson makes Mac look like Brady. It's such a quarterback mismatch this weekend, and the Patriots hardly ever have that. That's why I would pick them. I've been saying all week, get to 10. If the Patriots get to 10 points, which is such a low bar, but if you get to 10, Zach Wilson can't beat you. He's not going to look at those numbers. He's not going to beat you. Get to 10, you win this week. It might be ugly, but you win.
Can I admit something to you guys? I really missed on this one. I got to admit it. I used to follow this guy at BYU. His last year at BYU, I was so excited. I was telling everybody, you got to see this kid at BYU, Zach Wilson. He's unbelievable. He's so talented. He's so good. And so I believed it. I remember when Chris Sims, this actually happened.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Sims.
Loved him.
Quarterback rankings. #1, Zach Wilson over Trevor Lawrence. And I was like, yeah, Sims, I'm with you. I love it. So I just really blew it on this guy. I can't believe how bad he is. And part of the reason he's so bad is because his head is not into it. He does. Belichick is right. He's athletic. He's got a great arm. He can do a lot of things, but look at this play. Come on. And it's just stupid. He just does.
You hear Manning on the Manning cast on that play where he's like, oh, yeah, just keep running. Just keep going. Just keep going.
But I'll tell you this. I think the Jets can still win this game if Robert Saleh takes a page out of the Bill Belichick storm game plan in Buffalo. Now, you can't say throw it 3 times. But he threw it 27 times last week. Put that number at like 18. If Zach Wilson is only throwing it 17 or 18 times, check down Breece Hall. Okay, wide receiver screen, Garrett Wilson. The Patriots could be in for a real fight.
Well, it has to remain a 1-score game. You can't. The Jets get down by multiple scores. They have to throw the ball.
Well, I don't think they'll get down by multiple scores because we saw last year against the Jets. Look, their front is a real problem. It's a real problem for the Patriots offensive line. So this is where the game is interesting because it's a mismatch. As bad as Zach Wilson is against the Patriots, that's a huge advantage, Patriots. Jets defensive line versus the Patriots offensive line, mismatch.
Okay,
they can't block those guys.
2 through 53.
They can't block them.
And not that, Zach Wilson and Mac Jones are the #1 player on either team, but quarterback aside, the Jets have a way better roster. Not even close. Better receivers.
Agreed. Yep.
Maybe not better tight ends. Better backs, better offensive line, better defense. They have everything. Maybe not the coaching, but they have everything else. It's such a mismatch at quarterback that I don't see how that plays out. Now, you say the Jets have to be within a score. They're probably going to be within a score. The Patriots don't start on time in any of these games. They're behind in all these games. So, again, I'm not saying it's going to be pretty. I'm not saying the Patriots blow them out. They win, though. They have to win.
Well, and there are a couple of things here that they have to just take care of. So, Mac Jones, game 1. All right, turnover. Game 2, terrible interception trying to hit Devontae Parker. So the Jets in game 1 against Buffalo, Whitehead has 3 interceptions, and now you got Sauce Gardner back there. A turnover. The Jets are thinking, we turn them over, we have to score. So if the Patriots turn the ball over, they can't turn. If they turn it over, I think they could lose this game.
The irony is the Jets are
even one turnover.
The Jets are looking at you like you're looking at them. To them, you're the Jets. So, for an example, the Jets are in the midst of a wild losing streak as the Pats, or to the Pats, as they've fallen 14 straight games. Again, the Obama administration was the last time they beat the Patriots. In fact, they haven't beaten the Pats in regulation.
The second Obama took.
Since 2011. Yeah. Okay, I would be embarrassed if I'm them too. And this is nothing, my feeling about the game has nothing to do with history. Miami has turned the history on its ear. And that could have happened if Aaron Rodgers was here or they had a different quarterback. It's all about Zach Wilson. The kid's a loser. He's offensive. It's not just that he lacks talent.
Kid's a loser.
He is. he's not a pro. You know, he's not
Right.
an adult. He's not a pro. It's not like that. He should offend any sports fan.
And if he just wasn't great and couldn't make plays, but was like making the throws he has to, like Mac, well, then this would be a real game. It'd be advantage Jets. He's going to lose them the game. You know he's going to make a play to lose them the game. So I think that's the real problem with this matchup. He's going to lose it for him.
Does the Jets' attitude give you any pause? Take Zach Wilson out of it. Okay, do you think the Jets are primed to finally get over the hump against the Patriots outside of the quarterback?
They're due. And I do like how Wilson said it. I read those quotes in print before I heard them. In print, I thought they looked a little wishy-washy. Hearing them, he sounds a little more confident. So maybe, again, they're certainly due. And look, teams have turned it around. You said it before with Miami. A lot of teams have started to beat the Patriots. The Patriots are not some great team. But no, I still don't feel great about their chances.
I think this would change the conversation though completely if they lose to the Jets, because as much as Bill Belichick plays it both ways, we know this. On one hand, he'll say, "Hey, every game is different, every season is different. It's not about the past, and it's not about what happened 5 years ago, 10 years ago." But he looks at the Jets. Can't stand the Jets. Okay, he can't stand the organization, and he looks at the Jets as a win. We got to win, and so if they lose this.
Oh, no, it's a big deal.
So now you're talking about not only the team at 0-3, you're saying, okay, what advantage do you have? Because you always have Bill Belichick, Patriots, Jets, book it, bank it. Now, what if you can't bank that anymore?
Oh, I'm with you. Well, so, Robbie, why don't you throw up the schedule that we were going to do the last segment? So if they lose to the Jets, Jones, then do you look at the matchups, coming afterwards differently through a different lens?
Probably. I already look at a lot of the games that people had chalked up. I mean, Cowboys, loss. Saints, looks like a loss. Raiders, they might still beat the Raiders. I don't love that game's on the road. Buffalo, they never beat. Tua, they've never beaten. Commanders are 2-0. So, what's their record going to be in week 8 or 9? Are they 2-7? And I think, are they 1-6? It looks bleak.
Well, and again, the buy-in. Again, if it's teetering now, if you got bye guys back on the field, and Mac Jones is already sort of calling people. If it's teetering now, what happens at 0-3, 0-4, and now what?
Right. I mean, this is really you said it right, Felger. The Patriots look at the Jets like you're the Jets, and the Jets look at the Patriots and be like, I can't believe you guys we should be able to beat you guys. And so this really is like a collision of teams who they're trying to prove to themselves that they are who they think they are. The Jets thought about winning a Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers goes down. Now they think, hey, we're still a playoff team. We can be a playoff team. And they have to prove it by beating the Patriots. And the Patriots, 0-2, Bill O'Brien coming in is something different. We can make the playoffs, but we got to prove it by beating the Jets. I think it's going to be it's going to be a great game.
It's going to be brutal.
No, it's going to be great.
It's going to be 10-9.
A classic rock fight. Perfect.
Let's take a look at some of the loser franchises in the NFL. Years since their last playoff win. Some of these numbers blow me away. 31 years? We're not talking about championships. We're talking about just winning a effing game.
And even better, Felger, one playoff win since 1957.
That's insane.
One.
Okay. The Dolphins are getting there. I mean, 2 decades without winning a playoff game. The Raiders' commitment to excellence. I'm glad they've been exposed as the frauds that they always were. Garbage organization always was. I think that commitment to excellence thing was a complete crock. The Commanders, former Redskins, remember how powerful of a brand the Redskins used to be, how good they used to be, how popular they used to be? 17 effing years, and then you get to the Jets and the Bears and on and on. I ask you, Jones, do you worry about the Patriots landing on this list? I mean, they're on that list at the very bottom, but climbing up that list?
Hell yeah. I mean, we're talking about Bill and Mac.
So, by the way, I don't see that.
Me either. I don't either.
I do.
No.
All the way to 22. I don't know about that, but
even
12?
No way.
What do you mean, no way?
No.
How long did they do it before they got Brady?
Okay. Victor Kayam, the Sullivan family, ownership.
And they still won.
They still
won playoff games with that bad ownership. With the Sullivans, they won playoff games. I mean, you really have to be. That is just flat out. That's not the quarterback. That's not the head coach.
10?
That is terrible ownership. That is just the culture.
I mean, look at the first 4 teams on that list. The Ford family's done nothing but be born.
Horrible.
No one has any idea.
Horrible.
They never have for decades and decades and decades. Stephen Ross is an idiot. Again,
the Commanders had Snyder.
Commanders had the
20
worst
years.
owner in just about the history of sports. Mm-hmm. I just said I think the Raiders and the commitment to excellence is garbage, especially the son. I mean, the son is
okay, fine.
Seems like a nice guy, but pure imbecile.
But at one point,
the
they knew what they were doing.
The Bears, again, idiotic family ownership that just doesn't know if it's puffed or stuffed. They've only been born. Just look at the ownership.
But why do you think the Patriots could be in that position where you're talking about double-digit?
They're already halfway there.
No, but you're talking about. I'm talking about historic 12 years, 17 years, 20 years. You think it could actually?
It's not
get
going
to that?
past 10.
You
Okay,
think
fine.
It could get to that?
It could get to 10.
I don't think so.
Yes.
Me neither.
You don't think so?
I don't think
your
it gets that.
division's hard. Other teams spend. Other teams have quarterbacks. You don't. Who knows what's going on with Bill Belichick? Who knows who your quarterback is? I guess ownership is fine, but like most things, Tom Brady really propped that up. Hasn't been so good since Brady left. So yes, it could get to 10. It could get to 10 easy. Bill and Max should be talking like Garrett Wilson was about the Dolphins and Tua. They should be talking about, oh man, I'm embarrassed because we haven't won any games against this team, and I'm embarrassed this streak has gotten so long. It could get to 10 easy. I can't believe both of you, honestly.
It can't get to 10 easily. Why? Because if this year turns out to be what I think it's going to be, then that will spur some change. That will spur some change. Okay, then you'll get the change. You'll get the spending that you're looking for.
Then you get a branch of Bill Belichick's coaching tree, and there's another 3 years.
No, you'll get the changes that you're looking for if
Jones, be honest.
if it's bad.
You don't think they'll win another game? Period. Not playoff game. I'm like, be honest. Like, that's how you
got
really.
Patriots.
I'm literally picking them on Sunday.
You got the
I think they'll win
Patriots.
another game, but. You know, I think it's going to be bleak. How could you not think it's going to be bleak in not just the immediate future this year, but the short and long term future?
Because as much as I pick at the Crafts, they are good owners. They do have a clue. They don't belong on the list, Jones, with the McCaskies and the Ford family and Daniel Snyder and Stephen Ross and Tommy Boy. Davis's kid there. They don't belong on that list.